Hello everybody. In this video I want to go through just a few hopefully quick examples of some problems where they ask you to find a symbolic expression for the area. So the learning goal of course is that you'll be able to use a symbolic expression to represent area in terms of a variable. Great. Now this phrase "in terms of" is very important. I don't know if how much you've seen that before this, but I want to talk about it because it pops up. So, to write an expression in terms of x means that you are going to use x in your answer. Okay? So, let's take a look at this first problem, and we're going to have x in our answer. The base of a triangle is 9 times the length of its height. If the height of the triangle is x, write an expression in terms of x for the area of the triangle. Okay? So, notice that phrase, "in terms of x." That tells us we're going to use x in our answer, which is nice. We know that, we know what to expect about the answer. Okay, so we have a triangle that the base is 9 times the length of its height. Wow, that is one really wide triangle. I'm going to try to draw one. Like that, maybe. Okay, so the height of the triangle is x, so I'll go ahead and label that. And I know that the base is 9 times that length, so that entire base is 9x. Okay, so we're trying to write an expression for area, so area formula might be nice. So let's do area equals 1/2 base times height. I can plug in just like usual. The base is 9x, and the height is x. Okay. So there's an expression in terms of x. Okay, now I'd like to simplify it just a bit. So to multiply all of these things, I can multiply the numbers together, and I can also multiply variables that are the same together. Okay, so 1/2 times 9 is 9/2. I mean, you could put 4.5, but in general, it's preferred that you use the fraction. Okay. Then we have x times x. Anything times itself is squared, so x times x is x squared. There we go. We have an expression for area. The area of that triangle is 9/2 x squared. Okay. Let's look at one more example. We're going to write an expression in terms of x again, for the area of the rectangle. Okay. Well, it's nice that they gave us a rectangle, because that's the easiest formula of all, this base times height. Okay, so I can plug in. The base is 3x minus 4, and the height is x plus 2. Alright, now that is an expression in terms of x. It uses x in it, and it doesn't use any other variable. So technically I have an expression in terms of x. And for my pre-AP students who are headed into AP Calculus perhaps, now on the AP test that would be a perfectly acceptable answer because you've written an expression in terms of x. But just to make the point, and because you'll need to use this skill in future classes, let's go ahead and double distribute this to simplify it. Okay? So, sometimes it's also called FOIL. I call it double distribute because it makes more sense to me. So, we're going to distribute the 3x into the x plus 2, and we're also going to distribute the negative 4 into the x plus 2. That's why I call it double distribute, because we're using the distributive property twice. Alright, so we have area equals, if I do 3x times x, that would be 3x squared. Then I distribute it also to the plus 2, so 3x times 2 would be 6x. Then I'll distribute the negative 4. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Alright? And I got a couple like terms I can put together. So 6x minus 4x would be 2x, so my area is 3x squared plus 2x minus 8. That's about all the simplifying I can do. So there we go. There's our expression for area. That would be our answer. Not too bad. Oh, oops, I almost forgot the units. Okay, so since it'd be inches and inches, that would be inches squared. Okay, and since that applies to the entire expression, I put parentheses around the expression. Okay, so hope those make sense. We'll do some examples in class, and hope you enjoyed this short video.